Hello everybody and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Now, as all of you know at this point, I've made like 10 million videos on the indie girl voice and I really wanted to make another, but I realized I actually didn't have any other ideas for indie girl voice videos. I think I exhausted all my options and it kind of bummed me out because I really love making videos like this, like picking a unique style of voice, teaching you guys how to sing this way, figuring out the history, figuring out which artists use it, how it evolved into the voice it is today, what people love about it, what people hate about it, so on and so forth. So I thought, okay, if I have no more indie girl voice ideas, why don't I pick another type of unique voice and do the same thing? And so I decided that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little series dissecting unique voices. And when I say unique voices, I just mean those type of singing voices that aren't people's natural voices. They're like affectations that people choose to put on, and it usually leaves audiences very divided, like the indie girl voice, which is a unique voice. Some people love it, and some people straight up despise it. And the first time you hear it, it's that kind of voice that makes you go like, oh, I've not heard that before. That's interesting, you know? With all that being said, today I'm going to be breaking down the unique style of singing that is the baby voice. Now, for those of you who don't know, the baby voice is a style of singing that was super popular in the early 2000s and was made popular primarily by the artist Britney Spears, the queen. Free Britney, we love you, girl. It's a young voice, pretty high, light, a little thinner, kind of nasally. Let me show you some examples if you don't know.
I see you smiling, I go, oh, oh, oh. Yeah. I think I said it again. Make it last forever and never give it back.
So I was looking at all these artists that use this voice, the ones I just referenced, and their heyday was kind of all in the early 2000s. And I thought, that can't be the start of this voice. Where did it evolve from? Where did the qualities of this voice originally come from? So I started to do my research and started digging around. In my research, I found that this voice really grew to prominence in the 1980s, which was, coincidentally, the same time that music videos came out. When music videos came into existence, it gave a lot of people an opportunity to showcase their talents in a way they had not been able to before. Now, people that were really talented dancers were given this platform to shine, this platform that they very much so deserved, because music now became a more visual thing instead of just a listening experience. People that were incredible dancers really saw their rise to fame in this music video era. At the same time, a lot of people who were extremely experienced dancers like Madonna, Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, etc., were not maybe as heavily trained at singing as they were at dancing. These singers, the ones I just mentioned, they were really great, but they weren't as heavily experienced in singing as other singers at that time, like Whitney Houston or something, you know, people who were just heavy hitter powerhouse vocalists, which means if you're not super trained as a vocalist, it's incredibly tolling and draining to sing every single day. That puts so much strain on your throat and your voice if you don't know the exact way to prevent it from happening. So I think these artists were resorting to singing in a more nasally style because this is a proven way to take strain off your throat. I think that's why we started seeing a little more nasally quality, some thinner sounding vocals, a lot less vibrato, because we were seeing the rise of artists whose background was not in singing. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to hear the comments saying you're saying Madonna's not a good singer. No, I'm not. She's dope. She's great. She's an icon. All these people have amazing songs. They're great artists. And literally there was no auto-tune at that time. So everybody that was a singer had to be so talented. So I'm not diminishing their talent. I just think they didn't have as much of a background in singing as some singers who came before them. So they found these new ways to make sure their voice would maintain its health and its sound without compromising their vocal folds and chords and stuff. So that's where I found its roots came from. That's where I found the first tracings of qualities of this voice. Now, again, I don't think these people had what is now known as the baby voice, but they just had little different aspects that I think helped evolve into what the baby voice is today, if that makes any sense. So obviously we know that this style of voice came from a good while back, but it really wasn't till Britney Spears came on the scene that this voice really blew up. Now, we all know, because there's videos on the internet, that Britney Spears was a very strong singer when she was very young. She had a lot of vibrato, a lot of control. She was super powerful. It doesn't sound like her voice today.
Between your heart and mine.
So when she got into the Disney machine, they obviously made a conscious choice to have her sing in this more nasally baby style voice than the one she had before. And once she did that, she like blew up, and then pretty much every Disney artist that came after her in that time period had the exact same voice. So I think the producers behind the scene were like, yo, this worked. Let's get everybody on this baby voice bandwagon. Because think about it. Vanessa Hudgens, Ashley Tisdale, Ashley Simpson, Jesse McCartney, Hilary Duff. They all had very, very similar sounding voices. And I think the reason was these songs were catered to children. And speaking from experience, because I was a kid in this time, when I heard these Disney songs that had singers using this baby voice, the songs were always like kind of bubblegum, just light pop dance little kid fun songs, okay? They were just so much fun. When I heard these singers singing this way, I was like, I can do that too, because they're not doing any runs, they're not doing any crazy vibrato. Their songs were created in a way so that people who were not vocally trained could sing along very well. And this is so beneficial for children, because when kids hear songs that they can sing along to, they feel, and I'm talking from experience again, they feel their full pop star fantasy. I think the reason that this voice really blew up in that era was that producers knew singing in this way would be appealing to preteens and kids, because it was a really attainable way for them to sing. So after it worked with Britney Spears, I think they applied the method to most of the Disney stars at that time, and it obviously worked. So I think once they found a style of voice that kids really enjoyed and were able to sing along to, they stuck with it. At this point, the baby voice has kind of passed its heyday. It had its time in the sun, but it's kind of gone. But there are still a few select people who you hear like on the radio creeping through with the baby voice. And it just makes you remember that time when like every single person on the radio was singing this way, and it was the norm, and we loved it. At least I did. For me, it's just associated with like light and fun little kids songs, poppy, happy, bubblegum energy that I could sing along to as a kid and just live. So everybody, that is my dissection of the baby voice. If you want me to do a little instruction on how you can sing this way, or if you want to know why people hate it or why people love it, or more about the background of it, just let me know. I'm happy to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like this new like little series I want to do. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.